Live from Kewanee, you're watching a special edition of News 8 at 5.
Good evening, I'm Linda Swinford.
And I'm John Diaz. Thank you for joining us at 5. We are kicking off our 2023 hometown tour with a stop in Kewanee. This is the largest community in Henry County, Illinois.
That's right, and we are so excited to be here, and we are bringing you the news live from the Kewanee Historical Society, our studio for the evening.
Yeah.
Joining us in downtown Kewanee, News 8's Shelby Kluver, who is just around the corner, and also News 8's Chief Meteorologist, James Zahara, who is down the street with your accurate forecast. Hello.
Hi, guys. Everything's pretty good on my side here. How about you?
James, you look quite comfortable in your weather throne.
I love that view behind you, James.
Isn't this wonderful? I mean, this is the glass walk here at Goods Furniture Store, and a lot of history here when it comes to this glass skywalk that we have here. Actually, the Goods brothers kind of did one night, long time ago, did a little measurement from one building to the next since they bought the other buildings, and they thought, maybe we can put a little bridge here. And in a short period of time, they were able to make this work, and voila, you've got a glass skywalk. So interesting little story there regarding this tower and this skywalk, and more importantly, Goods Furniture itself, since it's been in existence since 1895. So pretty good view that we have here, would you say?
And Shelby's outside enjoying the outdoors.
Shelby, are you there?
I'm here. I'm not on anything as fancy as a glass skywalk. I'm on a corner. That's why they put me on the sidewalk. But we have a lot of good stories in store for you today from Kewanee, including one in just a few minutes, all about Hog Days. Guys?
Yeah. All right, we'll check back with you guys in a little bit, but Kewanee has long been known for manufacturing. Its products have been shipped all over the country.
That's right, and just like every hometown, keeping that momentum going has had its challenges, but as News 8's Josh Lamberty explains, it's creating new opportunities for businesses here to thrive.
Kewanee, Illinois has always been a place on the map.
I think it's set a precedent for us.
But getting here, though, first started with Kewanee Boiler and the Walworth Company.
It grew into a manufacturing place.
Kewanee Boiler is a recognizable name across the country.
Main Street would be like right up here.
And for Kewanee historians like Leanne Ballou, it's a big deal.
It had a police department, it had a hospital, it had its own baseball diamond, it was its own little city over there.
The Walworth Company made parts for the boilers.
They did the piping for ships and things like that.
Together, these companies employed thousands of people beginning in the late 1860s. Both big boiler-making companies left a big impact on this town. But another
We also have Goods Furniture.
Is a reflection of its history.
My husband's father loved the history of Kewanee.
Kaylee Good is a fourth-generation owner at Goods Furniture downtown, a fixture in the same three-block spot for 128 years.
Some of the best people in the world live right here in this town, and it's a good environment to raise family.
Kaylee says they've relied on longtime employees who've stayed on for decades.
I really see Kewanee growing.
Mark McInnes agrees.
We've always been kind of the center of commerce.
Mark is the Kewanee Chamber Executive Director and helps develop this community.
Kewanee was a blue-collar town. We still are a blue-collar type community, even though we don't have that type of major manufacturing like that anymore.
He now helps build a homegrown workforce in a challenging labor market.
We work well with Blackhawk College, the East Campus is here in Kewanee. The city has grants.
Even today, it all boils down to this.
Kewanee is still producing things that go worldwide.
Kewanee will always be on the map. Josh Lamberty, WQAD News 8.
Chamber leaders say one of the biggest benefits for businesses is the connection to larger cities, like the short distance to the Quad Cities and Chicago. They say that's especially possible with daily Amtrak routes, something that the Quad Cities does not have quite yet.
Yeah, exactly. Something we're waiting for sure. Meanwhile, Kewanee's population is made up of a broad demographic. A local historian says it ranges from Swedish, blacks, Hispanics, Germans, and Polish. The 2020 census showed its black population increased by almost 40%, and Hispanics were up by just over 30%.
There were parts of town that were black, parts of town that were white, but there was still a mix. And in the schools, the kids more or less were all together. You know, I mean, it was an integrated school system from the start.
Now, last year, Kewanee reinstated its Human Relations Commission. Their focus, of course, is on social justice.
And what a
was
warm
very
and welcoming,
nice.
just like the people we met.
Exactly, and it was lovely to meet so many people. And you know, I was giving James a lot of credit for the great weather, because I think like the week's best, as James you call it, landed on the very best day.
Right.
Timing couldn't have been any better. I mean, it was a little breezy out there, but not many people complaining. The fact that we had these nice mild temperatures across the area with 50s for daytime highs. In fact, all across eastern Iowa and northwestern Illinois, we had temperatures in the 50s, and we're still noticing those numbers in the 50s. The only exception around Dubuque, Stockton, even around Freeport, where we're noticing temperatures in the 40s. A little no surprise on that, just because there is a little bit of some snow on the ground in those areas. But overall, not too bad. We start off with some sunshine, then those high clouds started coming in from the west. But all is dry with these clouds, and we're going to keep it that way as we go through the evening and overnight hours. But those clouds are going to thicken and lower heading into our Thursday, and things are going to develop a bit wet, especially starting about mid or late morning or so, and that will continue on heading into the evening before tapering after that. All part of a system that's going to bring a whole lot of wind around here, especially by the end of our work week and going to the start of the weekend. And we're talking some pretty cold winds that may be gusting over 40 miles an hour. Hey, we'll show you where that system is and kind of track how this system is going to play about, talk about rainfall potential too, as far as amounts are concerned, for your hometown coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you guys.
All right, James, thank you. We can't really come to Kewanee without acknowledging the pig in the room, not the elephant in the room, but I guess the pig in the room. The town officially known as the hog capital of the world.
That's right. The Illinois State Legislature gave Kewanee the title back in 1948, and it's still there today. So what does it mean to be the hog capital of the world? Well, News 8's Shelby Kluber has been looking into this, and she joins us live again from downtown. Hi, Shelby.
Hey guys, we're here in the corner of Tremont Street and West 3rd in Kewanee, and it may seem quiet right now, but believe me, come Labor Day weekend, all of these streets around me go absolutely hog wild. For Hog Days, of course. It's a long-standing tradition here, much like the actual farming practices that gave Kewanee its global title. Lance Decker knows a thing or two about bringing home the bacon.
About 1 week's time, these guys will be 14 pounds heavier.
After all, raising all these hogs,
I would be the 4th generation.
Is a family affair.
We've been around pigs forever.
Decker lives in Henry County, where hog farming is a long-standing tradition.
We're currently selling around 7,500 head a year.
With each pig growing to about 285 pounds.
The hog is a very mischievous animal. I mean, it's a challenge. Every day is something different.
According to the Illinois pork producers, Henry County is home to 64 hog farms, generating roughly $55 million in sales. But nowadays, that's only in the top 20 counties in Illinois, much less the world.
I mean, it was the hog capital of the world one day. It's not today. But I mean, it's still remembered.
This is the picture of the original Hog Days stampede.
And perhaps the best way to remember that hog heritage is Hog Days.
The festival as we know it can be traced back to 1954.
The 4-day event lives on today with games, music, shopping, and lots of food.
Throughout the years, that's the one staple that Kewanee has had in the communities.
Mike Komnick co-chairs the event, which pulls in an estimated 50,000 people each year over Labor Day weekend.
Obviously, we may not be producing the world's supply of hogs anymore, but you know, with that, we have that heritage, and we built on that heritage. We are still, by far, an ag community.
So while some things have come and gone,
that was from a pigtail contest that they used to do.
Both Hog Days and its farmers are still here.
It's challenging.
Despite growing concerns.
I think in the next 10 to 15, 20 years down the road, I think ownership of the pigs that's in the barn is going to be harder.
Today's farmers face increasing costs and regulations, but the Deckers, aren't deterred.
You have to be passionate to do this.
After all, it's a community built on its hog heritage, now hoping to pass it along to the next generation.
Pork is always going to be needed.
Okay, so this isn't the official Hog Days sandwich. This one's actually from the station restaurant right down the block from where we are, but it's really delicious. And come Hog Days, these pork sandwiches are everywhere. Every year they sell about 5,000 pork chops and 8,000 pork patties, so a lot of hogs all over the place. And personally, I like my sandwiches with a little bit of barbecue sauce smeared on top. Guys?
Well, I think we're right there with you. John and I shared an appetizer at Cerno's, and we had some potato skins with some pulled pork, and it was so good.
Yes, but I'll take any sauce. I'll take it plain, just...
Sauceless?
Yeah,
saucy.
Whatever.
All right.
All right, thanks, Shelby.
All right, thanks, Shelby. She was reporting live from us in downtown Kewanee. And of course, during one of the Hog Days events over the years, organizers actually tore up the streets to make barbecue pits. Today, organizers say that's one idea that will stay in the past.
There you go.
Still ahead, we dig into the News 8 archives and find a Kewanee woman who walked herself right into the city's history books.
And a warm and breezy day. It turned out to be dry, but that changes heading into tomorrow. Colder winds coming in as well, and we'll show you how that's going to impact our temperatures in the days ahead right after the break here. Welcome back, everyone. James O'Hara here in the beautiful Glass Skywalk here in Kewanee, Illinois. Of course, this Glass Skywalk, part of the Goods Furniture Stores, many buildings, I think over a dozen buildings connected to make one big fortress of beautiful furniture and mattresses, and a great example of the great commercial success that Goods has done here in all these years. It's been an establishment since 1895, one of the biggest furniture and mattress stores, not just here in the county, not just in the state of Illinois, but really the entire Midwest. And we couldn't be any prouder to be part of this. And I think I got the best view out of everyone here with the Skywalk here, right here on Main Street itself. Of course, got a chance to enjoy the great outdoors as well. Got a chance to even talk to some kids as well over at Kewanee Weatherfield, where we had, I think, over 200 kids wanting to get a chance to just chat with us. But I think more importantly, when it came to the beast, they were like in awe when they saw the beast. So it was a great sight to see with all those kids out there. And it was a good looking day. Of course, we had some clouds making its way across the area. We're noticing it on our Bridgepoint camera, seeing some of the clouds, but all is kind of dry across the area. Nothing as far as any rain that we see. If we want to find some rain, well, I think we have to go even a little farther out. Nothing across the Midwest, but these clouds are going to thicken and lower and allow that next weather system out across the Southwest to push on in. And that will bring us some pretty good rainfall around here, as well as some wind. So let's kind of break this down, shall we, with the help of our future track as we go through the overnight hours into early tomorrow morning. Lots of clouds. Morning commuters should be just fine. And it's actually going to be fairly mild as well, as we're looking at those temperatures to only be dropping around the lower 40s. So that's some pretty good news. But as we go through the course of our Thursday, you can see how that rain will be slowly increasing from southwest to northeast. This is around 10:30. Let's move the clock even more to 4 p.m. And you can see we haven't even reached the bulk of the moisture yet. That will be expected, still on track to arrive as we get to about Thursday evening. And by Thursday evening is when we begin to switch those winds more on the north. So any leftover moisture that we have may actually mix or change over to some light snow showers or flurries. But no need to worry. Don't have to get the shovels out. Just will be flying around and nothing that is expected to really accumulate around the area. But as the system pulls away, it's going to bring down some pretty cold winds across the area, and that will linger on even going into Saturday as well. Model comparisons, no surprise. I was kind of talking about this yesterday. I think the numbers are going to get a little higher, and sure enough, that's the case. I think numbers will be ranging between 1/2 to close to an inch of rainfall from this system as it makes its way across the area. And as far as temperatures, going to be a challenge with the system coming on in, but we're looking right around 50 degrees, I would say, for the daytime high. That may be earlier on in the day, and then eventually we'll see those temperatures begin to slowly fall. Big concern is going to be the winds as we make our way through Thursday night into Friday, as we expect those winds to be clocked over 30, maybe over 40 miles an hour in some of our hometowns. So I wouldn't be surprised if we even had a wind headline out for pretty much the entire area as we make our way into about Thursday night and Friday. And like I said, this is going to bring down some pretty cold numbers, and we'll tell you how cold those numbers will be right after this.
Did your family make the right choice for movie night? You did, if you chose the Electric Doctor and a Generac home standby generator. By installing a Generac generator, you have power when you need it most, protecting your home and your family, saving movie night.
We told you to call the Electric Doctor.
Right now, get $500 off installation.
Call the Electric Doctor, your generator specialist. Electric Doctor, the doctor that still makes house calls.
Currently at the airport in Moline, 56, but folks, it got as high as 58 degrees. Too bad we had all that wind across the area, but we'll take those temperatures. Not too bad tonight. We'll keep it mostly cloudy, dry, breezy, 43 for the low. South winds, we'll be maybe gusting around 25, and then that rain will be developing. Likely the first of those raindrops coming in by about mid or late morning. And like I said, some of that rain could be a bit heavy by tomorrow night. Early daytime high, I would say around 50 degrees, and then the passage of this system will begin to really drop those temperatures. Cold is coming in on Saturday. We got the St. Patty's Day parade. Hey, folks, as long as you're all bundled up, you're going to be fine. But it will be pretty chilly, especially start of the parade, which is going to be in the late morning, starting in downtown Rock Island, making its way into downtown Davenport. And then things look even better still going into next week. Here we go, big climb. And by later next week, we're going to be talking about temperatures around 60 degrees. Gosh, I like this time of the year with the swinging numbers. Love to see that. Guys, back to you.
Oh, that's 62. I'm looking forward to it.
I know, love it.
All right, we have a throwback story for you now. This is about an 88-year-old Walmart walker. Her name is Harriet Knapp, now who reached 10,000, I was going to say steps, but it's not steps, it's miles here in Kewanee back in 2001.
So what's the distance of one lap around a Walmart, you ask? Well, she made the trek 50,000 times in order to get to 10,000 miles. Here's her story.
Hi there. It was business as usual this morning at the Kewanee Walmart.
Hi there.
But not everyone's here to shop.
Oh, she rolls in, about 7 o'clock in the morning.
Morning, Whitey.
Morning, Harriet.
Harriet Knapp is a Walmart regular. She visits every day to walk the fitness trail. But this morning, the walk is special.
I started October 24th of 1995.
At 88 years old.
Congratulations, Harriet. Thank you, Teresa.
She will cross the 10,000 mile mark.
Didn't have a goal at first, and then I seemed to be piling up the miles, and so I decided that I wanted to have 10,000 miles in 5 years.
Heart problems slowed the retired clothing merchant down a bit, but today it's full steam ahead.
But today, 8 months later, I'll do it. They told me they were going to charge me for a new tile.
With her son Jack at her side, she follows the route she knows by heart.
Excuse me, I don't bring any money with me. If I do, I spend it.
Along the trail, she greets familiar faces who are like family.
People ask me sometimes, do you work here?
With one lap to go, her Walmart family gives her a boost.
Thank you.
If anybody's got determination, it's Harriet.
Halfway home, Harriet's extended family joins in.
Come on, Whitey.
Come on, can you sit with us? Come on. You're with us every morning. She's part of the family.
Hi, dear.
Congratulations. Thank you.
We see her every morning, and then if she's not here, we all kind of wonder what's going on.
Around the corner and down the aisle to the finish, she's crossed it 50,000 times. But she's never had a reception quite like this.
Thank you.
For Harriet, it's all icing on the cake. But she won't rest on her laurels. The 88-year-old plans to hit the trail again tomorrow.
Harriet had some swagger.
Yeah, she
What an
was
inspiration.
not stopping.
No.
For anybody.
Of course, Harriet passed away in 2014 at the age of 101, more than a decade after reaching her milestone steps. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to News 8 at 5. We are live from Kewanee. And in our final story from Henry County, Illinois' largest city, you may remember Thor, a former Kewanee dog that was abused back in 2017. And he's now living a much happier life.
Yeah, that is the good news. Doctors say that the fact that Thor survived is a miracle after getting his throat slashed by who police say is 17-year-old Damian Ingram. Luckily for Thor, Jamie Lee, who worked as a vet tech in Kewanee at the time, says she fell in love instantly and adopted him. Thor and Lee now live in Colorado Springs, where he is living a much happier life. Lee says Thor is best friends with her other dog, Jethro.
He acted like nothing was ever wrong with him. He never had any complications. He healed up great. I mean, you can't even tell now. I don't even know if you can see or not, but there's nothing there now, just some scarring.
That's absolutely incredible. He was named Thor because of his strength through all of the trauma that he endured. Such good news that he is happy.
Yes, he had a rough start, but thankfully he's okay.
A rough start, I get it.
Oh, rough start. See,
Right.
I had to throw a pun in there.
Always. I want to talk a little bit about where we are. We're at the Historical Society, and it is just incredible how big it is.
4 levels. And thank
right.
you for watching. I'm like, oh, Connor's gone.